Hello, this is Salita Trotter. I'm from Kids First Education, and today I will be bringing you ELA in a flash. The standard we're going to look at today is RL.10.2. And the standard says to determine the themes or central idea of a text and analyze in detail the development over the course of the text, including how the details of a text interact and build on one another to shape and refine the central idea. So today we're really going to focus on central idea. So let's look at some steps we can use to complete RL.10.2. So the first thing I want to do as a reader is I want to determine the central idea. And what I'm going to do today to do that is just look at any recurring people, places, things, or ideas that I see in that text. And that's going to give me insight to what the central idea is. After I identify that, I'm going to select some evidence just to check myself that supports the central idea. And then thirdly, I'm going to think about how that evidence, how does it shape, which means to build, or how does it refine, which means to make more clear the central idea. So the text I'm going to use today is The Mask of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe. The chart I'm going to use, it starts with the central idea. And remember, we said we're going to look at anything that is recurring in this section that's going to give us insight to the central idea. Once we identify that, we're going to look at any evidence that supports the central idea. And then finally, we're going to really think about how did that evidence or that detail, how did it refine or how did it shape the central idea? So let's get started. So when I read the very first sentence, it says the Red Death had long devastated the country. And it almost sounds like the central idea is right there in that first sentence. Now we know that that doesn't always happen, but in order to make sure, we want to continue to read the text and see if there's anything about the Red Death that is recurring. And so I have a pronoun here that is referring directly to that Red Death again. And it says blood was its avatar. And then all the way down at the bottom, I see that they're referring to the Red Death, which was a disease, again, right here. And so I know that this section is about the Red Death. And so the next thing I want to think about is, what exactly are they saying about the Red Death? And so I can find that right here in the center of the passage. It says the redness and the horror of blood. There were sharp pains and sudden dizziness, the scarlet stains upon the body, especially upon the face of the victim. So when I put all of that together, I concluded that this section was mostly about how the Red Death caused much death and devastation in the land. And so that's what I put for my central idea. So if I feel this is my central idea, I should be able to find some evidence that supports that. And again, I'm going to look right here in the middle of this paragraph, and there is so much information that will support that the Red Death caused much pain and death and devastation. So what I selected was the sentence that says there were sharp pains and sudden dizziness and then profuse bleeding at the pores with dissolution. And so my final step is to think about, how does this evidence or how does this detail shape or refine the central idea? And so really I wanted to think about how, which is the structure or the strategy that the author is using. Is he comparing? Is he contrasting? Is he giving us a problem and solution? So what's going on in this evidence? And then once I identify that, then I want to think about, what did it do for me as the reader? So how did it refine the central idea, or how did it shape it? And so what I put together was that with this particular piece of evidence or detail, it uses description. So it's really telling me a lot about what happens with the Red Death. So when a person encounters this disease. So the evidence uses description to explicitly show how the disease was causing devastation. I could also see a little bit of cause and effect in there. So pretty much our steps were to look at the central idea, analyze or pull out the detail that supports it, and then think about how that evidence refines or reshapes the central idea. So this has been ELA in a flash, and if you're looking for more videos, please visit our website.